Hey, Body Rockers, you guys still with us? Week 3, day 1, it's Monday. We're doing strength today.
Why are we down here?
I don't know, I feel like the camera's down here and I just feel like you need to change up angles as the week goes on. We're like getting more into it.
Alright.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Alright, we're doing strength. 35 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. The warm-up's gonna be 30 seconds, 30-second movements, and we're gonna need some equipment. We have our vests on, we are going to steal some pink things from under the tree, and then some dumbbells and your mat. So hopefully you guys have purchased that Bootcamp package for December. We're gonna get started right away. Warm up, 30-second movements.
New warm-up?
New warm-up, yes, it's a new warm-up this week. So we didn't want you guys to get bored and like walk away from the warm-up and then just come train. We've talked about how important it is to warm up those joints, ligaments, muscles in your body. So this is fresh, coming to you fresh to warm up today. 30 seconds, let's go. All right, neck circles. So if you watched some of our mobility work, you'll remember that instead of pushing the head down towards the floor, you're actually gonna bring that ear up towards the ceiling and then rotate down. Same thing on this side. Keep going. Feels good? Is your head even down?
What?
Is your head down?
Yeah.
No. Get a close up on that.
I got the scarf. You can't tell. You can't tell what this neck's doing.
Oh, man. All right, next one. We're gonna do some alternating shoulder circles. So focusing on the shoulder, right, left, left. We're gonna move that into arms in a minute. Right arm, some windmills. This side, other side, 3 seconds here. Then we're gonna drop it down. Drop it low, nice deep squat.
Oh yeah.
So bringing, I love how he does this live. All right, bringing that tailbone down towards the ground. And then moving around whichever way you want in that motion, or in that position. We're gonna open up those hip flexors. Opening up the adductors on the inside of the legs. Nice, that does feel good. That's true. All right, now, coming up, we're gonna go into leg gates. So bringing that leg out to the side. Here, we're really opening up the hip. One right, one left. So the fluidity of this might vary depending on how mobile you are,
How coordinated you are.
how coordinated you are, how good your balance is. 5 seconds left. All right, now trunk circles. So starting, dropping to that right side. Hinging at the hip, remember your hinge. Dropping to the left. Gentle, nice and slow. Sit. Nice. All right, now the chest and the back. So just swinging those arms forwards, backwards.
Are we going high and then low? Or are we
Let's
just...
go high and low. Yeah, like that. So opening up, waking up the different parts of those front shoulders, the anterior shoulder.
Hey,
Hey.
over here.
Shuffle. In 10 seconds, we're gonna shuffle. Get in some ankle work. Stop traffic. Here we go. So getting the heart rate up a little. Last minute of warm up. This is your chance. Get that heart rate up. Burn those calories. 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, reaching hands overhead. Feeling that pull. I feel it from my hip. What about you?
More in the lat.
The lat, yeah.
Because I probably can't get down that far.
That's true. So Sean feels it here, up here in his lat. Maybe because he's not bending down as far. I feel it right from my hip. Whew. All right, 3 seconds. seconds. We're gonna grab our dumbbells, swim in the tree. Let me go like a 10-pound. We're doing shoulder presses. So whatever your flavor is for shoulder presses, here we go, standing. So dumbbell overhead press is what this is called. Feet right around shoulder width apart. Pressing straight up to the top and bringing them together at the top, controlled the entire way. So if you find that you're like kind of slamming them together at the top, that means the weight is too much for you. Woo, round 1. How's 15?
That's good.
Good, do you want to add a pink thing or no?
No.
Good?
No, I'm good.
He's good, so.
Good. This is 15, I was using 10 before. I probably could use that, but for today's purposes, we're staying with 15.
All right, but if you guys at home want more weight, you can always add the pink thing. Like say you only have like 10-pound or 5-pound dumbbells, you want to add more resistance, just add the pink thing, put it around the dumbbells, bring it up.
And yesterday I talked about bringing the dumbbells
15
in to
seconds.
protect those rotator cuffs. If you have any injuries there, it's a lot easier than goal posting it. All right?
Good point.
So it just protects the shoulders a little bit more.
3 seconds, stay here guys. Remember, when you're doing strength, cardio, whatever you're doing, when you feel like you want to give up, everything beyond that is usually progress. So stick it, unless there's pain, all right?
What happens after the first one?
What?
That's when I'm giving up.
Stop. Here we go. 30 seconds. Woo. Remember, I can even feel it in myself. I feel like my chest is wanting to flare. You want to tuck that belly button into spine or bring that rib cage, contract it, bring it down to the pelvis area. Imagine those touching. You want to keep that neutral spine. If you feel like you need a little leverage, you can put a little bend in the knee. Little hop up, 3 seconds, last one. Nice.
You
All
have,
right.
you have very minty breath.
I do?
Yeah, it's very
That's on
pleasant.
purpose. I feel bad like blowing stank breath, coffee breath in the cameraman's face.
I don't.
All right, static lunge. I'm gonna keep my weights. You guys don't have to. Sean does not. All right, I'm gonna start with right side. So I'm gonna start with that right foot forward. Remember, 90 degrees in the front, 90 degrees in the back. So that front knee right over heel. And that back knee right underneath the hip. We're staying here. So we're gonna burn out one side on the left. Halfway. Stay here. Weight or no weight, you're gonna feel this. 3 seconds. 2. All right, so that was one side. So if you add the dumbbells, try and do the other side with the dumbbells or whatever weight you have, because you want to even out the sides. Part of that anterior posterior pelvic tilt is an imbalance in muscle strength. So you want to try and keep the sides and the front and back of your body evenly distributed in muscle mass.
The other thing, a real common thing that people will do when the weight gets too heavy, they'll start rounding their shoulders. Even if you want to pin your shoulders back every time you reset, which I just did, my shoulders were too rounded. So you come down, you can come up, and then roll those shoulders back and down, and you're back into that position where that weight is right up over top of your quad.
All right, so you guys can work through those rest times if you want. 8 seconds left in the rest time. Now, I've done one side all left, one side all right, you too? We're gonna switch at halfway. I'll let you know when. So, you may think that you have to put a big bend in that front. You actually don't. We're just lifting and dropping that back knee. Watch that front knee, make sure it doesn't go over the toe. All right, switch sides.
Another common mistake with these, you'll see a lot of people that Jesse just touched upon, there is when they're coming down, they're too wide. All right, when you're too wide, you get too long, and then I'm actually only feeling a stretch back here. So just like she talked about, have it tucked up underneath, so you can come straight down and up, weight in the heel, and it's a lot of quad.
More toys. Woo, pink right, we're gonna do a cross body punch. Sean's gonna put it around his back. I'm gonna put mine here. I'm only gonna put one foot on because that's all the resistance I can handle. And you'll notice I'm probably gonna go at a slower pace than him because I chose
You
the
tell me
hard
to speed up.
pressure. I chose the more difficult route. He chose the easier route.
So just like we talked about in our warm-up, squashing the bug, or rotating those feet at the bottom, you're still doing that, but you've just added the pink thing.
Woo. All right, 10 seconds left in your warm-up. Breathing during warm-up. So important. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're totally fatigued, 2 exhales out. You wanna get rid of that CO2. So if you go 1 nice deep breath in and then 2 out, you're gonna offload some CO2. A lot of people think that when you're out of breath, like running, whatever, that you're not getting enough oxygen. You actually need to offload. So 1 breath in. So when you're at your max out, see? That's why I have the gum.
Minty.
Minty. Minty offload. I don't even know what that
I don't even know where that's going. That's going somewhere not good.
It's better than non-minty offload, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna switch legs. 2 seconds. Here we go, last one. Come on, guys, stay with us. 25 seconds left. Little rotation.
Rotate it. Go for it. Punch. Punch.
Dig deep. Whatever you're mad about, get it out. 3, 2. Woo! I like that one. Nice. All right. We do not need this for the next one, but you
Sumo
can
squat.
keep it. We're gonna do a sumo squat. Do you have a variation with pink thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Do that. So, sumo squat. You want to bring those feet out wider than shoulder width apart. And you want those toes pointing at a 45-degree angle. And then, watching those front knees, we're going to sit back in that chair, push up through the glutes. Now, once you have that down, we're going to come up. Squeeze, down, calf raise, down. Up, squeeze those glutes. Woo. All right, so Sean's doing a variation. He's adding some load to his sumo squat. Feel free to do that. 5 seconds left. Here we go. I'm starting with the whole thing. Up, down, squeeze. Up, down, squeeze. Watch those knees. Up, down. As we're fatiguing, what happens, Sean? Is there anything you find yourself doing?
Leaning forward.
Leaning forward, the chest dropping. So remember, roll back those shoulders as you come up. Reset, like he said. In that static hold. Down, up, neutral spine. So, you don't have to be completely vertical. Just means neutral spine means that your spine stays stacked and it tilts at the degree together. Cool? 3, 2, last set. If you feel like you have some juice left, you want to add that pink thing, you want to add some dumbbells with a bicep curl, now's your chance. Bicep curl. Down. Up. That's what this would look like. You should be feeling it in your adductors here, in your calves, in my glutes, all over, baby. Watch those knees, squeeze at the top. Woo. Last one. Nice. All right, so we're gonna do some upper body work now. Reverse slide, so some back work with a pink thing. So I'm gonna put 1 foot on. I don't know how many you do. do, but it looks like this. Okay, so remember that hinge. You want to have, in this case, we're not going to have them necessarily shoulder width apart, but I'm going to put a little stagger in my step. Lean into it, bend in the knee. Gaze forward, bringing those shoulders together at the back, bringing belly button to spine. Don't do this. We can get a shot at my stomach. Don't do this. We don't want to see that dump in the front. I'm gonna tuck it in. I don't mean dump like a big belly. I mean like, I don't want to see you pushing out whatever's here or nothing's there. I don't want to see it curving downwards. I want it to stay nice and neutral.
I'm going to show you one other thing. If you want to go opposite foot, switch foots while you're doing this. The other thing, so you don't lose tension on that back. All right. If you want to, you can come in. I've lost tension on that back, so my back is resting. What I want you to do is try to come here. Don't lose tension in that bend. So come right about to about shoulder width, and then come out. My back's working the entire time this way. If I'm coming in here, I get a break. All right. So really try to focus on keeping that right on the outside. Keep it right there. Tension in that bend, and your back's working the entire time. Unless you give up early.
Was that you? Okay.
No, that wasn't it.
All right. See what he did there? That was a break, a built-in break.
I cut in.
Education break.
5 seconds.
All right, if you need to decrease the resistance, you can put our foot inside instead of having it on both. It gives us a little bit more leeway. We're in that third set. That's it. This is hard. Keep it up, guys. 15 seconds only.
If you need a personal timeout at any time, you can just come right back up top. Give yourself a second. Come right back down. Protect your back. You shouldn't feel this in your lower back at all, guys. If you're feeling this in your lower back, you might want to reposition, turn the core on a little bit tighter. It should be right in the center of that back. You should feel that.
All right, we're going down to the ground with a pullover. So we did these last week too. We're gonna go feet to feet, dumbbell in hand, overhead, feet planted on the ground, pulling up to chest level. So do not put it over the moneymaker. Do not want to drop the weight on our face. Over the chest, back down. As you come down, remember the cue. Bring that belly button, draw it in, round out the back, AKA engage, light up core. I'm gonna work through. You guys stop until you hear the next ding if you need to. See, we try and fit in our workouts while we're filming. I just didn't get what I needed. So I'm gonna keep going. Slight bend in the elbow. Remember, if you don't have that full range of motion overhead, don't worry about it. Bring it as far back as you can. Work on that shoulder mobility. And then next time, you can bring it right back to the ground. We'll get you there.
So I'm just using the pink thing here. I'm going a little bit different. It's a little bit more core intensive. I just have it wrapped inside one foot. You can have the opposite foot come up, and you can just bring that straight up and back over your head. It's a great burn through, definitely through the abs.
All right, that's rest time. We have 3 seconds left of the rest. Back up. Last set. Again, work through it if you want. Remember, we're gonna add some weight. I'm gonna grab another 10 because I really want to get in those gains on that last set. I just feel like I'm not burning out in those last 2 to 3 sets. We don't want to just make it look hard. We want to challenge ourselves. We're working with you guys. Nice. All right, so that was 3 sets of those. That's your chest work. Now, back to the pink thing. We're gonna do some pull aparts. So this is more back work. There's this muscle of your spine. It kind of is on either side of your spine at the top. It's called rhomboids. We're gonna work on those right now. So I'm gripping, play with your grip. I'm gonna grip 2 rungs in. Now, with this, you should feel those shoulder blades come together at the back as you open up the chest. Remember the core, all the cues, belly button to spine, and bring it in. Keep it at chest level, nice and controlled. If you see that you're doing this, like that, not cool. Just step out a little bit.
The other thing too is same with the back when you're bringing it in.
That's
Don't lose the tension, right? If you bring it in too far, you're giving it a rest. Keep it there. Keep the tension on the band the entire time. Control it right there. Back out. That way, the muscle is working the entire time. There's no break, and it's gonna burn. Like it burns.
It
like
burns.
big time.
I literally feel heat in my back.
Wow.
My shoulders. Love it. Right now, like I want to give up. I'm serious, guys. 10 seconds left. Like I feel like I cannot do this. Woo!
Sometimes if you start to burn out and you can close your eyes and just kind of forget about it and visualize just bringing it back, you might get another couple of reps.
It's true. The mental game.
It is.
It's the mental game. Yeah, I call that like turn your brain off. Like don't even think about it. You know what you need to do. You've done a bunch of reps of them already. Just keep it going. Last set here. I'm gonna need to shut my brain off like soon. I wanna step out. Like everything in me is like, just walk your hands out. Just a little. Just go for a little saunter. Woo, I'm not gonna do it.
If you obviously burn out and it gets too much, you can give yourself a little bit more slack there, right?
It takes a while, I find, to know that difference. Okay, Sean, between like giving up too early and then really challenging yourself,
Yeah.
you guys will figure that out. All right, last one. We've talked ourselves to the end, so good mornings. I'm gonna lace these in through my toes. Again, you guys can pick your strength. Obviously, the further down the rung you go, the more intense it's gonna be. It's full hinge, full hinge. So we're coming down, slight bend in the knee. Remember all those cues. Keep the spine neutral. Everything is moving together at the same angle. You should feel a pull in those hamstrings. And then up, right to the top. Remember not to hyperextend at the top. Bang, you don't need to like push out. As long as you stand tall. Oh, a perfect cue is standing tall. So imagine a string on the top of your head. You want to stand up high. You don't want to stand up backwards. Any other
You
tips?
can use a dumbbell if you want as well. So you can just put this right here if you want. Just on the top of, not on your neck, on the top of the vest, right? You can just come right forward. And come straight back up.
That's it.
What about
Keep it.
feet placement? Are we shoulder width? Or
Yeah, we're shoulder width. Shoulder width. You want to try and grip that floor with as much of your foot as you can. Obviously, you're in shoes maybe, so just imagine you're gripping the floor or take your shoes off. You want to have a nice sturdy stance. Anytime you're loading, you want to think of yourself as kind of like a table, right? You want as much of your base on the floor as possible, usually, unless we're progressing, in which case we have you on something else. 1 foot, balance trainer, who knows? To come, not yet though. All right, let's perfect that hinge. If you feel like you're not getting that hinge right or any pain in the lower back, dumb down the weight or no weight at all. Or back up against a wall, use that as support. Last 15 seconds, guys.
So I'm just doing a body weight variation right now. I just have my arms crossed in the front because it's comfortable. It allows me to hinge at the hips. I still feel the stretch in my hamstrings. You can come straight up.
Woo!
Don't forget, you're still wearing 6 pounds on your back, right? So we always forget that we have this extra resistance that we're already putting on ourselves before we even start. So
True.
If those are tight, if you have tight hamstrings like myself, and you just can't get the mobility there, use body weight, use a dumbbell. I mean, that's gonna rip up your hamstrings pretty good, because it's gonna really emphasize that stretch, right?
Yeah, it might pull you down into the stretch depending on how strong that back line is, and if it does, definitely take it away.
Yeah.
You want to have control, maintain control. You own the pink thing doesn't own you, right? Okay, so that was it. Week 3, shut up.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's
so,
awesome.
what's up next? Day 2?
Day 2, yeah.
Which is what?
Day 2 usually comes after day 1, and week 3 or week 2.
Right.
So I think
what do we got
next is cardio, I think, but we're gonna have to check that. I'm pretty sure it's cardio day. Yeah. So.
What do you eat tonight?
What am I eating?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty plant-based girl. Are we talking
you
about
are?
this?
Yeah.
I am.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm a plant-based girl as of the last 2 years.
Why?
Which is like totally difficult because I grew up like my entire family is like hunters. I grew up big meat family, but mostly honestly for environmental reasons and ecological reasons. I have 3 kids, and I don't know.
Do you feed them meat?
They can have it if they want. I don't make the rules for them. I won't cook it.
Right. Do they ask for it?
Yeah, one of my daughters, the firstborn, is like steak fanatic. Like she loves meat. She tries not to eat it because she's also a big animal lover. But I don't put any pressure on them. I kind of give them a bit of education, like as you know, I learn about it. I don't push it on them. They can decide on their own. My husband still eats it, but I'm a plant-based girl, so I'm like into.
How do you get your protein then?
Biggest question. So all plants have protein. A lot of people don't know that, but I mostly get it from legumes, lentils, potatoes. Potatoes are my favorite.
Right.
So all kinds of potatoes, nuts, lots of things. Like there's protein powder. I actually don't do any supplements. I'm a supplement-free girl too.
Wow.
But yeah, so so I eat a lot of just yummy
Whole foods.
plant-based whole foods. Yeah, I really try and get most of my vitamins and minerals from just the foods themselves. I buy organic as much as I can. There's like a cost issue there, I know, but like I try and buy as much as I can organic. Alternative milks, protein in there. So yeah.
Cool.
What are you eating?
What am I eating?
Hamburger? Steak?
Hamburger? No. So I intermittent fast. I usually don't eat till 5 o'clock unless you have been following. Know that. We have a guide. We also have a vegan guide.
Yeah.
I've been going with that for the past 4 or 5 years. It's worked for me.
Whoa, you're
Yeah.
way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, so it's worked for me. Doesn't mean that you can still eat whatever you want, because through all of this, I've learned that you can't do that, obviously. It doesn't matter if you don't eat all day and then you stuff your pie hole at night. It just doesn't work. If you eat too much at night, you're gonna carry extra weight. So when I first started, like within the first 3 months, I think that's the most shredded I've ever been. And
In a good way? Like,
in a
did
good
it
way.
feel good?
Like
Yeah.
I felt good, I felt great. And then
Did your energy go up? Because a lot of people say like it's,
energy
yeah.
goes up, but then you gotta have something that drives you. I want you guys to find something that motivates you, that really pushes you, why you want to make the change. So for me, it was something very personal, why I wanted to make the change. My marriage ended, I got in amazing shape, and that was a real driver for me at the beginning. When those feelings kind of subside, you got to find something else that's going to drive you once you've hit that goal. And that's really hard to maintain if you don't have an internal driving force that makes you want to get up off your butt every day and be better. And not everyone has to have a 6-pack. Not everyone has to look like Ken and Barbie. That's not what we're going for. We're going for people to get off the couch, use fitness as a way to better your life, and just having balance with that. So balance is a really big key, whether you've hit your goal or you're still trying to hit your goal. If you've hit goals, the maintenance part is just as hard, and it's just as
Harder.
yeah, it's really hard because in a way your mind can let up a little bit. I've hit my goals, I look great, I'm gonna dial it back again a little bit, and then you're like, oh well, I'm noticing this kind of change, and that wasn't there before, and I was feeling a little bit better in the mirror when I was looking at myself, and then
It's just energy, like things that you feel, not things that you see.
and then that's when something has to click again, and then you got to find something. It could be, something ends, something begins, whatever the situation is. You got to find something that's going to drive you to make yourself better. And if you don't have that, then it's just not going to work out. You just got to find the fire. You got to find the passion. And when you do that, and you feel good about yourself, that's what really keeps you coming back for more. So.
What's your driver, Jesse?
My driver. Well, it's hot. Like, I have kind of an ideal case because I grew up, like, as a child, my parents would put me in, dance or whatever. I just wanted to play sports. Like, that was just in me. I was a kid who, like, wanted to move all the time and play all the time. So it actually came easy to me, which I know a lot of people don't like to hear, but that is the reality. Like, I, played everything under the sun, and then on top of that, I liked working out. It's just my kind of therapy. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's like the mental game. Like, my husband will say fully, like, I'll be grumpy or like slamming the fridge or stomping up the stairs. He's like, go. Like, he's like, drop everything, go work out. Like, I become a crazy person if it's 2 days where I haven't fully moved and exerted my frustrations.
I get the same way as you. Like, if I have a rest day, I'm fine with it. But the second day, like, if I'm not, like, if I don't feel like I'm moving my body, I get super cranky.
Yeah.
He does.
I just want to be left alone for that little bit of time, just to be able to do my thing, because then I'm fine once I'm done.
Yeah.
But like if I don't work out for say 48, 72 hours, I start feeling like not good.
Yeah, there's a pattern there, and you have to get to know your pattern, because it probably is more precise than I even realize. It probably is like 72 to 48 hours, but like, I just know that life gets in the way, shit happens, and you just haven't done it. All of a sudden you're like, cranky ass bitch, and you're like, okay, I need to go like punch something or run as far as I possibly can. That's just me. But I think for people who are watching this that hasn't been there, we both grew up probably similarly, like playing sports and being kind of athletic before workout was like a real thing, because
we'd be active, but it was like, it's not like this.
Yeah, there's no program workout, it was just being active. But if you didn't grow up that way, or fitness is new to you, I have to say that, like, just stick with the habit. If you're feeling shitty and you just want, like, that something needs to change, you can't really pinpoint it, give mobility, activity, moving a try. Do this boot camp with us, and you won't know what we're talking about until probably the end, day 28, day 30, and then you'll be like, shit, all of a sudden, like, I'm in a better mood. I have more energy. I can pick that up without my back hurting. I'm sleeping amazing. But like, we can tell you all these things, but until you do it, until you actually do that work, and it doesn't, if you're a beginner, it doesn't have to be an hour a day. It can be 20 minutes a day. Until you actually do that work and feel those results, this just sounds like noise. So that's why we always say, just shut off your brain, come show up, do the work, and then after that, you'll know what we're talking about. And then you can come back to this video and be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, right? Because you have to feel it. We can tell you as much as we want, and we're not lying. No one ever says like, oh, I wish I didn't do that workout. Like, I don't think it's ever been said. So yeah, just do it, and then you'll see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then switch it up. Maybe this isn't your jam, like switch it up to something else, but at least try.
I wasn't laughing at you, I was laughing at the fly. And I kind of landed somewhere around here. I was like, oh man, did that get caught on tape? I was like,
damn fly.
Anyways, high five from the heart. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye guys. Yeah.